Just click it, it works.
You got it.
Thanks. Formal written advance notice of this, notice is required by NJSA 10-4-1, has been provided at this meeting at least 48 hours in advance of today, giving the time, date, and location, and to the extent known at the time, the agenda of this meeting. Such notice stated that formal action may or may not be taken. The notice was posted on the bulletin board outside the office of the municipal clerk, reserved for this and other similar announcements, provided to the Suburban Trends, the newspaper designated by the Borough Council to receive such notices, and filed with the Borough Clerk. Can we stand for a pledge, please? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. May we have a roll call, please?
Mr. Silverstein?
Present, here.
Mr. Quigley?
Here.
Mrs. Novak?
Here.
Mr. Ross?
Here.
Mr. Seopa?
Here.
Mr. Kimberlin?
Here.
And Councilman Deline is absent, and so is Mayor Sarah, sorry.
Correct. Okay. First order of business
Mr. Ben
is...
Delisle.
Oh, he's here. First order of business is approval of the minutes from the March 21st, 2024 meeting. Do we have a motion for that?
Motion.
The motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? I have one thing that Carmelita and Andy Brewer and I discussed. We'll approve these subject to changing all references to committee to agency and board to agency, and us as board members to commissioners, because that's the technical way it should be. But other than that, we can approve it. Why are you looking at me? Okay, so with that change, can we have a roll call?
Okay. Mr. Silverstein?
Yes.
Mr. Quigley?
Yes.
Mrs. Novak?
Present.
Okay. Mr. Ross?
Yes.
Mr. Seopa?
Yes.
Mr. Kimberlin?
Present.
And Councilman Deline's absent.
Okay. Correspondence, nothing we've had to act on, but just information. It's this time of the year. The first one, well, your local finance statements are due with the due to the state. They're due April 30th, which we've gotten much easier. All the information flows over from year to year, and you just do what they want you to do. The other two memos from Liz, ordinance 2415 and 2417, deal with the Passaic County Passaic County Senior Housing, and the revitalization of that whole plot. The first one dealt with a deed of easement from the county for us to operate our recycling center, and the second one deals with the pilot agreement that we recommended that the mayor and council approve. So that's all the correspondence that we have received. Executive Director's Report.
223 Wanacue, I did get the report from the developer, from John. They met with Sal last month. Engineers have made all the revisions. They're submitting revised building plans based on that meeting, and they anticipate construction starting end of May or early June.
Good. That's progress. Anything else?
No, that was it.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to take this a little bit out of order, so if we can go to new and unfinished business first. Meridia, someone here from Meridia? Okay, come on up. This is not testimony, this is just information. Okay. Name, please?
Andres Gomez.
Andre, right, we've met. Yeah, okay. As you may remember, several months back, we had asked Meridia to give us examples of the finishes that were going to be used on that project over there.
You can move that.
Yeah, you can move that so the commissioners can see it a little bit, please.
Or just put them out of the way.
This one here?
Yeah, if you guys want to see it, you can,
Oh,
you know. Yeah, that's pretty good. And you can just turn that around a little bit.
You can start here. Nothing about you.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay.
So I was in town last week, and I stopped in by Carm's office, and I took a look at these. It seemed to me that it's kind of self-explanatory. The dark gray, the first one in the top left, pretty much deals with around the windows.
Correct.
The lighter gray is, I mean, you want to point these out?
Sure, I can point it
Okay.
out. So, just in summary, these three elements are the same product, the cementitious board, just with different tonalities. So, the darker gray is going to be on the lower residential levels. The lighter gray is going to be the top crown or band predominantly. And then the intermediate gray is going to be on the bump outs along the windows.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the brick obviously would be on the superstructure on all these brick reference here on the radius and on the bump outs. And we have a cast veneer stone, which we're proposing on the bottom level on ground.
Yeah, when I looked at this in the daylight, and it's really hard in this room to see it, because I actually have a question on the brick.
Sure.
But the other materials match that rendering they were almost identical.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I think we wanted. My question on the brick, and maybe it's because of the sample you have,
Okay.
is at least I don't know about the rest of the commissioners, I was expecting the brick to have more character to it and have those different color variations. And what you have there just seems to be one color.
This specific run of brick comes in a more kind of a monotone color. But I did hear a comment on this. I reached out to the manufacturer this morning. We have potentially two solutions. One, we could pull different sections or different parts of the order from different batches, which inherently will give you different finishes. It'll be the same product, no issues there. In an extreme case, should you guys choose, to proceed that way, I can introduce 10 to 15% of a similar brick with a different finish. And that would also produce variation in sheen and allow us to proceed with what's already approved.
I mean, I would be fine, again, it's up to you guys, I mean, I would be fine if you used that run and just took it from different runs.
So they're willing to do that. What I'm gonna have them do is actually give me a full mock-up of a larger panel.
Okay,
If you guys wanna do one final, take a look at it before we start installing it on the wall.
yeah,
Is that fair?
Be great.
that'd be
So,
great.
Yeah, so we'll take sample batches from different runs, which inherently will give us, different tonalities, and the guys will mix it as they install it on the wall.
Yeah.
Can you give us a same sample of the alternative, or is that difficult to do?
I could, I can't guarantee that one yet, because I was still in conversation,
Okay.
I had with the client this morning. But
Just in case we're not,
No,
like,
both.
yeah, just in
Both, yeah.
case.
That's a good idea.
Thank you.
Yeah, that'll be fair, it's easy enough for us to do.
Okay,
Any other questions on any of the materials?
no, I think you did a great job of matching the materials to the rendering.
Fantastic. Yeah.
A lot of times they come out a lot different.
Yeah, no, I know.
Okay, cool, just as an aside, how's the construction going?
Hopefully, it speaks for itself. We picked up a lot, made major changes. I recently stepped in as director, so I don't take all the credit for it, but, pushing the team as hard as we can to fulfill this as fast as possible. That's our goal.
Good, okay.
Hopefully
Any
you guys see the
questions?
change.
I see them every morning. You're out there early, a full crowd, full crew. They work hard.
Yeah, no, they're working hard.
Yeah, it looks good.
Okay,
Appreciate it.
thanks, so if you can come back next month,
Yeah, sure.
that would be the next time we meet.
Yeah, I'm gonna push these guys to give me this the sample board as fast as possible. I'll have it probably posted in the garage somewhere.
Okay.
I guess I could come in with photos, it's a little difficult to bring in full.
Well, I mean, I guess the other thing too, for those of you that are here, I mean, I can take a look at it. If you bring it in there and you just stop in and, text me or something when you look at it, and then we don't have to do anything formal, it's just,
Yeah.
we want
Perfect.
to.
Okay, so where will they be?
Where will be?
I'll set it up in the retail space or garage area of that building.
Oh, okay.
You can walk right through
Right
it.
through, exactly. Yeah.
Of what, I'm confused, what building?
Our building.
Oh, we can go into it?
I mean, I could have you escorted by, the site
Oh,
super and.
okay.
get a hard hat, and
Okay,
we'll
do we,
spare one.
do we need to make an appointment, or?
I don't know, but no.
Okay.
If you let me, I'm sorry, let me know when it's ready, available, I'll let
Okay.
folks know.
Perfect, so I'll email
And
you.
give all the instructions.
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
Figuring it out right now.
Yeah, so I'll email you once it's installed, and you guys can go in and sign off on it for the signing sheet.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool, that's
Instructions are, yeah.
That way you don't have to come back.
Easy enough?
Easy enough.
Thank you.
Cool,
I'll give you,
thanks.
Your card?
I have a couple. I'm gonna leave with you.
One for me.
That was easy.
I try.
So if I have questions, I can contact you now? Are you the main contact?
Hesitant to say yes, but yes.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
I'll leave this card
Want
over
to put this
here.
back over?
No, that's fine.
Okay.
Thanks.
All right, have a good night,
Appreciate
everyone.
it.
Good night.
Thank
All
you.
right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Now let's go back to the regular order, conceptual presentation, Salvador and Nolita Police, 54 Wanacue Avenue, Pompton Lakes, Block 2400, Lot 2, Zone DRA2. Come on up and, whatever you want to do. Whatever you like to do.
You can have a chair if
You
you
need
want.
another chair. We got plenty of chairs.
Shouldn't take long, actually. Okay. My name is Rosa Prestak, this is my husband Paul Prestak, and this is my father, Salvatore Pulici. Okay. We're here because we were actually denied a structure to be built actually outside of my parents' home, about 54 Wanacue Avenue in Pompton Lakes. The Salvatore's Tailor Shop is located downstairs. There's currently a portico, a very small portico on the outside, which just covers from the rain, just protected from the rain. But unfortunately, right now, there's a current portico. The issue right now that we have is, unfortunately, we're going to need to close off half of the portico to allow for the landing of a chairlift. So as my parents are getting older, and my mom too, my mom is actually unfortunately going up and down the stairs with her hands, okay, going up and down, and my father, even going up the stairs. So for them to be able to stay in the home where they've been living here, for like 49 years, in Pompton Lakes, had the store for that long, we'd like to have a permission to be able to close it out. So not the whole thing, but partially. It's within the setbacks, so there's really like no issue with that. I brought, if you needed to see like a drawing, okay? If you wanted to see this, or if it's even necessary, it's up to you.
Yeah, we can have it out.
Just pass it along,
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, that, is that,
and that's what we're here for.
Well, just as an aside,
It's on the
you'll,
side.
you'll find as you go through this, no, I know that,
Okay.
as an aside.
Oh, okay, side, not the side.
You'll find as you go through this process, it's, kind of bureaucratic, and there's things we have control over and things we don't. So one of them is, did we get an escrow for this?
Did we?
Did
No,
we get an escrow?
no, we did not.
Okay. One of the things that should have happened is that in order to do a conceptual presentation before the board, there's a fee involved.
Okay, we weren't
Okay.
told that.
Okay.
But if there's a fee, I can pay for it
Okay,
now.
that'll be
Shouldn't have
fine.
a problem.
It's not gonna be very much because it's a very small
Yeah,
project. But we have to pay our professionals.
that's perfectly fine.
Okay,
Like I
good,
said,
just so you
when I'm- that's perfectly
Okay,
fine. All I'm
got it.
concerned about is more
Yep.
their home. Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I need.
Okay. I guess before we get into that, I mean, the main reason, that you were denied, was the floodplain.
Yes.
Okay? And, one of the things that we can't do is say, okay, we'll let you do that in the floodplain because we think it's a great idea. So one of the things you're gonna do, and our engineer will explain it to you, is you're gonna have to get approval from the DEP to build in there, to build.
Okay, the only issue is it's on the sidewalk. And the way that the house is, it's on actually Grove Street, the same level. So for the water to come up, I understand. The water to come up would have to go up 50 feet
Yeah.
to come up to the street of Wanacue Avenue.
Yeah.
So I just want to say, it's the same thing as, it's like I said, it's like approximately 3x5 area, 3x6 area, and no more. So,
Do you
I
want to
wonder
explain? I mean,
what-
it's actually,
No, I understand
I mean, it's actually the
the
same problem that your neighbor had when he wanted to build his building, is that he had to go through, and it took him a long time to get approval.
Can I ask one question?
Yeah, sure.
It's a structure that's already there, you just
Yes.
want to enclose it.
Half of it,
Yeah.
half of it enclosed, that's
So-
all.
But my point being is, why would,
It's current.
just to enclose something that's
I
there?
mean, as,
I'm
I
asking,
think, no, I think as I understand it, and I think as you'll explain, you just can't build in the flood zone.
but it's there already, there's coverings.
You are pretending and assuming that the DEP is rational. That presumes, that's the presumption behind your question.
The only issue that I have is that as they're older, I mean, now we're talking about, wheelchair access and all those accesses that we'd have to deal with also with the state if I have to go through that route. I'm willing to do whatever I need to for them to be able to stay in their home. I feel like they're just being discriminated against, excuse my language, okay, because as they're older, they need that. They can't get into their house.
I think 'cause it's
Go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, may I?
Yes, go ahead.
So unfortunately, the state does not look at your age or your need. The state is required to look at a project. And because your house, the structure is within what we call the flood hazard area, technically you're in an area that's regulated by the state. So any work that happens within that regulated area has to be approved by the state. What the rules do have is they have provisions, provided you meet all of the requirements, so that you don't have to technically file an application. There's something called a permit by rule. And, I did a real quick look before the meeting. Provided you meet all the provisions outlined in what we call a permit by rule number 12, which is in addition to a lawfully, just
Sorry, thank you.
PBR 12.
PBR.
Okay, if you talk to an engineer, PBR 12.
I can get you a copy of that. I have a copy of it.
That provided you meet all of those conditions within the permit by rule, you don't have to file with the state, but you do have to get an engineer to certify you meet all of those conditions. One of them is that the structure cannot be within what we call the floodway, which is the portion of the river during flood that actually carries the water. You're limited to gross area, which, based upon the size of your addition, you need that. You cannot create floor space, or all habitable floor space needs to be 1 foot above the flood hazard elevation. You're not creating a habitable space, you're putting a lift in. So, as long as you check all those boxes off, you would qualify for a permit by rule number 12. But
How long does that take? We've been trying to do this since January.
you have to engage an engineer that goes through it, looks at your plans, or a licensed professional. Let's leave it at that. I see a lot of architects, excuse me, if there's any architects out there that like to play engineer. I don't recommend that. I don't play architect, I do play planner on occasion.
I do have a question though on
Sure.
that. Is that something if they went to an architect or an engineer, that's something they do? Or does she still have to get all of that checked off and then go?
No, that's all checked off by the professional. They submit it to the borough, and you go on and you
I
file
was
your
just trying
building
to
permit.
learn for myself.
No,
I never heard.
and that's what a permit by rule is. So, Mr. Chairman, if you could afford me, I'd just like
Yeah, sure, go
to.
ahead.
So there's different levels of permits when it comes to the flood hazard area. We all know about flooding. I grew up in Bloomingdale, I know all about it. Okay? So you have the permit by certification, which is really, permit by rule, which is really what I'll call your lowest order permit. It's if you check all the boxes, you don't have to file anything with the state. Then there's a permit by certification, which means a letter has to be written and just sent down to the state. There's general permit by certification, there's general permits, and then the permit that captures everything that isn't covered in any of those other ones is the individual permit. So really, this is the lowest order. It was put in place so that people would not be burdened with having to file. You'll spend thousands and thousands of dollars on consultants, and then the 90-day permit review time after it's deemed complete by the state. So it's meant to help streamline that process for the public.
I like it.
Not that I'm advocating for this state.
So the process is,
Get an engineer.
You hire an
yeah,
engineer.
architect or engineer.
This was.
Preferably an
Most likely
engineer.
I'll get you an
Okay.
engineer, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
I
think we have a solution.
I have one other question. Why, and again, maybe I missed it, but why did they have to come in front of us?
Because the building is in the redevelopment zone.
Because, as there would need, it's a commercial, it's partly commercial.
Okay.
Any construction in a commercial, on a commercial property requires site plan approval. The site plan checklist, which is done by ordinance, they cannot, so in order to be complete, you go to the planning board. Number 19 is you have been designated and approved by the redevelopment agency.
Oh, okay.
That's to
So
make sure
here's what I think we're gonna do.
everything gets approved here.
Thank you.
Okay, gonna make this as easy as I think we can. I would propose that we pass a resolution tonight. You know, we can look at this pretty quickly. I didn't see anything in the building of it that was a big problem, and it's really, it's virtually nothing, okay? So if we do a resolution subject to you getting the PBR 12
Or any other DEP permit.
or any other
as they
DEP permit
qualify.
you need to get, then you'll satisfy our resolution and you can go to the planning board.
Okay, so
So
Yes.
somebody would make a motion to.
I'll make a motion.
Well, let's see what it is first.
thank you.
Motion to designate Salvatore and Nolita Police as the designated redevelopers of Block 2400, Lot 2, to enclose and do the necessary construction in order to construct the chairlift, subject to getting the DEP approval and
Just point of question, the plans show the improvements on lot 1, not lot 2. I don't know if that is a mistype. Sorry, it's just me looking things
Like you
over.
did, Kat.
I was just reading off the conceptual.
No, the site plan shows lot 2 as the adjoiner, not, and lot 1 is being the subject lot.
So,
Corner lot is lot 2, you're saying?
Based upon the site plan that was provided to our office, lot 2 is the adjoining lot, lot 1 is where your improvements are.
where's the denial from Sal? What's that?
Lot 1.
Oh, that's right.
Sal,
Yeah, Sal's letter says lot 2.
Yeah.
I apologize, I'm looking at the plan.
Oh, yeah. Well, if they're both in the area, we can designate you for both lots.
Thank you.
If that would cover it.
2, and I
So I would amend what I'm saying. If it's also, and I didn't mean to cut you off, but if that works, then it would be amending my resolution to be lots 1 and 2, if that covers it. It basically allowing you to go forward on wherever this,
Either lot.
the proper designated lot, subject to you, obviously, you're gonna have to get eventually your DEP approval.
Okay.
but let's make sure we're doing that
Oh, you're trying
correctly.
to look at the,
It looks like it's
Yeah.
lot 1.
No, it looks like it's lot-
Someone thought lot 1.
Yeah.
So what happened is, what I did is I copied from the denial of the zone, this is lot 2.
Yes.
Typo.
Yeah, it looks like it is lot 2.
Well, the lot 2's right here.
Lot 1, yeah.
It's on lot 1.
Yeah, there's a lot of confusion with those 3 properties. Okay, let's do that.
Two's the back.
right.
For 1 and 2?
Looks like it's on lot 1.
Yeah.
Right, because a lot of this, I went by the building.
To the lot,
Building is lot.
it belongs
Let's-
to.
Hold on, everybody.
So here's the survey.
Okay, but time out. If we look at the survey,
I have
okay,
this.
we know where the building is. Your property does go back to lot 1, does it not? It goes back
Lot 1 and lot 2, yes.
and lot 2.
Correct.
Okay. So you actually swing around behind,
All the way to the
Susan's
river.
lot.
Right, right,
Yes.
okay, that's what I
yeah.
thought.
It would be on
So
lot
do a lot 1 and 2.
Nice
Lot 1 and 2.
property.
Lot 1 and 2. So wherever the thing falls,
Where
that's
you
where
were
it falls.
doing it was on lot 2.
No, lot 1.
But they're going to be designated as the redeveloper for lots 1 and
Sitting
2
down.
in order to, and I'll do it right.
You'll do
But
it.
in order to do the project, you can be designated for 7 lots, even if only the construction's gonna be on 1. You're gonna be the designated redeveloper for 1 and 2
Okay.
in order for, and what they're approving is 1 piece of construction. whatever the construction that you've discussed here in order to enclose it and have the chairlift that's been presented to the commissioners.
So that's what the resolution's gonna be. Does anybody have any issue with what's being built?
No.
No, okay. So that takes care of that part. So, the other thing this needs to be subject to is the payment of the escrow. Of course. Okay?
Take care of that right now.
So with that, do we have a motion?
Motion.
Do we
Second.
have a second?
I'll
Motion.
second.
Wait,
Second.
Quigley?
Yep. Have a roll call, please.
Okay. Mr. Silverstein?
Yes.
Mr. Quigley?
Yes.
Mrs. Novak?
Yes.
Mr. Ross?
Yes.
Mr. Siopa?
Yes.
Mr. Kimberlin?
Yes.
Okay, so this resolution gives you the ability to go to the planning board, and when you go to the planning board, you will show them the engineer's report, the checklist, the DEP checklist, that you've met the requirements, and you'll be on your way.
Thank you. But next meeting, there'll be a written resolution also.
Right.
And then when you do your site plan checklist, as I said, number 19 says you've been designated. So you refer to the minutes, but there'll also be a written resolution that will satisfy that requirement.
So,
And what you have here is, the planning board will ask you some questions, but what you presented to us is what will be built. Okay? I mean, that's what, they're gonna have to approve what that, okay, got it. We're good.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Thank you so much.
See, that wasn't so hard.
No, thank you very much.
So Rosa, I'm gonna contact you and I'll give you the application. I don't know what the.
No, you gotta,
No.
don't,
No.
she'll let you know what it is.
Yeah.
I'll wait for you.
We don't accept cash or credit here.
Can I leave or no?
Yes.
Yeah, you're good. Thank you.
We're going to be taking money on this.
Yeah, no, exactly right. Okay. Next up is Mr. Rahman, 1 Cannonball Road, Compton Lakes, New Jersey, Block 100, Lot 9.09, Zone DRA2. Hello.
Right.
Okay.
Mhm.
So when we left this off last month, we were, I think, somewhat confused as to what you wanted to do and how you wanted to do it. So I believe you had told us that you were going to bring in an architect today, and you will explain to us what's going to happen. Do you have any drawings, and can we see the building, what's going to be there? Or?
So I didn't know when I get told, I guess over here passed, and then I'm able to like start the project. So I didn't know I'm supposed to draw the.
We may not have, but we'll try it again. We don't approve things just based on what people tell us. So we need to have a set of plans as to what the apartment's going to look like, where in the building it's going to be, okay? How many bedrooms, we have to deal with parking, okay? We have to deal with parking, the fact that you're now gonna have more apartments, and you have the business, and I think we kind of all agree that the parking is deficient for that. I don't know how you're gonna solve that, other than you're going to need us to, if we agree with what you're going to do, we would need to modify the redevelopment plan in order to do that. You're going to have to, I mean, your architect, your engineer, are going to have to put plans together as to what's going to happen. I also think, and this part, I mean, I'll let the other commissioners chime in on what they think. I think the building also needs overall renovations on the exterior. Okay, one of the things we're doing in Compton Lakes is we have redevelopment. And one of the things we want to do is redevelop either new buildings or rehabilitate old buildings. We have, I don't want to say the power, we have the responsibility as this agency to determine what happens in older buildings when they're renovated. So one of the things I think we would like to see, you know, in no particular order, is probably that vent removed and go somewhere else. We would probably like to see the building repainted on the outside to something that fits more in with the character of the neighborhood, and also probably be resided so that it's rehabilitated. It looks, you know, like a new building. The other things that you're going to have to deal with, our fire regulations, what happens with, a building, an older building that's got, how many apartments are you gonna have in total?
So
When you're
right
done.
now, I have 4 apartment, and I wanna have 2 more 1 bedrooms.
So you're gonna have 6 apartments. And you have a business.
Yes.
Can I ask
So-
a question?
Go ahead, sure.
Do we have, like a redevelopment step-by-step? That like if a person wants to come in and owns a building and really doesn't know what's, you know what I mean? Like,
Well, we've done this before, this is how we kind of done it.
oh, okay,
You know
I'm
what
just
I mean?
asking. I
Yeah.
mean, it would be, maybe we should put something up so that they kind of have an idea of what they need to do prior to coming.
Right, so the 6 apartments, just on itself, need 9 spaces. And I don't know what a business needs, it's based on the square footage, but I don't know what that is. But it's certainly at least a couple of spaces. You know what the parking space for businesses are? I'm sorry.
I'd have to look it up.
Okay,
Off
that's
the top of
fine.
my head, I don't.
But I guess to get to the bottom of it, we can't do anything tonight unless there's plans and we can see what it's going to look like. Okay, and I think I gave you some parameters of what we'd like to see outside. I think, 6 apartments over a business. I mean, I think, Dean, you would probably have some concerns about fire safety in the building, whether or not, I don't know what the minimum requirements would be, if it needs to be sprinkled or not, just don't know any of that. So that's what your architect and engineer would have to bring to us before we can proceed with the application.
Because last time I thought it goes to a planning board, and then I thought I'm going to get a phone call or something, and then I make it a process from there. But
No, it starts here.
okay,
Yeah, same thing that we told the folks that were here before. Your building is in the redevelopment zone, so we have to approve what goes to the planning board
okay.
in its
so-
simplest form,
Okay, sure.
okay? And again, we're not trying to make it harder, it's just
Sure,
Yeah,
sure.
all
resolution.
all of those things that they're asking for, all those plans, you're gonna need them anyway for the planning board. So it's not like you're creating anything extra. In order to get approval from the planning board, you would have to prepare those plans. May have some comments on what would look better and what should be done, but all these plans, you're gonna have to do them anyway.
Okay, sure. So I make the architect and everything, like the drawing and stuff.
Yep.
Sure.
Okay. And anybody want to add anything to?
Because I just got confused because if I'm ordered to do project, like I have to get approved from here. So that's why I got here last time, and then I didn't get any order what to do next.
You're gonna
step.
get approvals from multiple places.
Oh, okay,
We're just the first group to approve.
sure.
Mhm.
Okay, got it. Now I know what to do. So.
Okay. And you,
Based upon what you're saying is elevation
elevations of what the
Yeah,
outside will
for
look
the
like?
exterior improvement.
Yep.
And,
What the inside's gonna look like?
Yeah,
As
and floor plan.
floor
and
plans
Parking analysis, right?
and a parking analysis
Okay.
at a minimum, I would think.
Yeah.
At a minimum.
Yeah.
But if you've done this before, you kind of know what
Yeah.
we're gonna be looking for. Okay?
And a good way to look at it is, look at what you're gonna have to produce for the planning board. All that stuff you're gonna do anyway, give it to this board.
Right.
You're gonna have to do those things anyway.
And generally, when we approve it, they don't change it. Okay? Okay.
Okay. Thank
So
you.
get that done, and when you get it done, what you're going to need to do when you get it done, you're going to need to contact Carm, have a formal application put in,
Okay, sure.
okay? There's an escrow payment that's due with that, and then we can go from there,
Okay, sure.
okay? What?
Sounds good.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay. I don't think we have an executive session tonight, there's nothing we need to do there. Public discussion,
No public?
see no one in the public, so we'll open the public and close the public session. The only other piece of business we need to do, and I know this is uncomfortable for Ben, but we gotta do this, is we need to form a subcommittee to review the resumes we got, of which Ben's is one, he did submit it, okay? So, along with myself, who would like to help me go through these? and we will then pick out, who we interview from those, and the subcommittee will do the interviewing.
I could do it if any, unless someone else is hankering to do
You're
that.
fine.
Okay, and one other person. Someone else want to work on this?
No hankling and all that?
Don't all jump at once.
David, to pick Eric because he's not here.
No,
There you
no, council person can't do it.
I'll do it.
Okay, Dean will do it, good.
Kate,
Okay.
under pressure.
Okay, I will, actually, I wrote on these. I'll give you each a packet of
Okay.
these,
Oh,
okay?
okay.
I have them already,
Oh, okay.
and you can go through them. The resume that's on top,
Mm-hmm.
don't count because it came in late,
Okay,
okay? But it's here, so you have it,
okay.
okay?
Okay.
Okay, that brings us to the end. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Oh,
Done.
hey, who was, I'm sorry, typing.
Here, I wrote on the paper, you're happy.
Kimberly, motion, and I second.
That's fine.
Kimberly and Zilka.
My copy?
Yeah, I'll send you guys an email, and then maybe we can set up a Zoom or something.
Okay,
and
very good.
Thank you for your input, that was very helpful.
Pleasure.
I-